Look, this was...
Stop it. It's my turn. 7:18 now. Time for a quick look at traffic. We have a disabled vehicle on the disabled list. Eastbound 50 at Zinfandel. And another eastbound 80, this time at Stockton Boulevard. And let's see, we have an accident too. That's Hillsdale at Wallerga Road out in Foothill Farms. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's Dan in Sonoma. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Hey, Sean. Good morning. You know, I'm better than Justin Trudeaux, who resigned, I guess, yesterday. And it never ceases to amaze me, the absolute cowardice of leftists. I mean, this is not the first time that a hardcore leftist leaves before being defeated in an election. I remember Barney Frank back in Massachusetts. Yeah, that piece of...
Frank.
Yeah. He was going to lose his, believe it or not, in Massachusetts, and that stunned me. And so rather than face the wrath of the voters who hated that man, he bailed. And so Trudeau's doing the same thing. And I'm looking at some of the articles here.
It makes sense, though, Dan. Courage is not a left-wing value. If they were courageous, they wouldn't be leftists.
Oh, that's an excellent point. But I'm looking at this Newsweek article here on Trudeau, and a lot of people are just really, really angry at him for a whole variety of reasons, including the totalitarian way that he mishandled the pandemic. I mean, out in Canada, they were practically breaking into your home and forcing a needle in you, and I'm not kidding about that. It was just unbelievable. It was actually worse than Newsom. But what I'm speaking of Newsom, though, as I read these stories about how angry people are about him, you could actually just replace Trudeau with Gavin Newsom. He basically did the same thing. And again, I have a deep loathing for Newsom because I know he killed countless people here in the state. I know a few of them. I've mentioned this before, and it's worth mentioning again because these men are evil. These people are just evil. And what's going on here, kind of to dovetail off of what Dan from Elk Grove was talking about, in Britain and here in Canada, or there in Canada rather, they're rebelling. They're fed up. They're fed up with what they've had to put up with, and now they're striking back politically. And the same here in the U.S. You know, this yesterday was January 6th, and the left made a big deal about it. But you know, that's all been washed away after the election, after everything that's happened, everything that we've had to suffer through. The people rose up and spoke. And what I say to Republicans, because Trump knows this, but the Republicans have to keep remembering this, they are working with a mandate. This is a solid mandate. This is a rare event. So forget about January 6th. Forget about all the naysayers about the Republican Party. Just move forward and do what you have to do.
Yes, I agree with almost all of that, except for one minor thing. It's not really I disagree. It's an omission. Whenever you go off on Newsom like that, don't forget to mention Rob Bonta.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I mean, there's a whole cast of characters here in California, but Rob Bonta, yeah, what a piece of work he is. This state needs to be gutted. Now, I'm just wondering, though, since there is this rebellion in Canada that's going forward and having success, and they are rebelling in Great Britain, when is that going to happen here in California?
I'm hearing crickets now, Dan.
Yeah, I heard
California crickets too. They're California.
I mean,
crickets.
There were some things that the voters did vote for in favor here in California, but it's not the magnitude.
The crime thing. I'm surprised that passed actually, but that tells you people are actually starting to get sick of the homeless crisis and criminals being let out of jail and people being able to walk into stores and just walk off with stuff and nothing happens. They're sick of it.
There's going to be a reckoning at some point.
Yes, and we have you to thank.
I appreciate it. I'll take my Medal of Freedom right now.
People are listening to you, Dan.
I don't know why, but they are.
Know what?
Thanks, bud.
Someone is going to invite you to a party soon. Thank you, Dan. It is 23 after 7.